Gavin Newsom is telling Donald Trump, you want to talk about me? Say it to my face. Come to California, stand up here and say it to my face, Donald. Governor Gavin Newsom of California knows that when it really comes down to it, Donald Trump is a paper tiger. And Gavin Newsom's willing and ready to debate anyone. So he's like, let's do it in public. You want to brawl? You want to come after me? I'm here. Say it to my face or shut up. And here's what Governor Newsom wrote. He posts, okay, Donald Trump, as you prepare to assume the presidency once more, I invite you to come to California. The hundreds of thousands of Americans displaced from their homes and fearful for the future deserve to see us all working together in their best interest, not politicizing a human tragedy and spreading disinformation from the sidelines. That's brilliant right there. That's how you handle it. Donald Trump making all of these false and defamatory statements about Gavin Newsom focusing on smelt fish over dealing with fires, all BS, all bogus, internet troll behavior, and Governor Newsom saying, I'm not an internet troll, okay? I am someone who is a leader, and you want to say this stuff? Say it to my face in front of the people of California. This is how you have to deal with Donald Trump. You have to stand up to him. You have to call him out, and you have to be willing to have these very public debates and discussions and show that ultimately Donald Trump backs down. Have you ever seen Donald Trump in a deposition? He's scared of the lawyers who aren't Governor Newsom. Trump backs down. Have you seen Donald Trump in any type of setting with other world leaders? Trump is scared of them. Don't even get me started on seeing Donald Trump next to Vladimir Putin. He like shrivels up. He is a scared person because he's got imposter syndrome. He knows that this whole thing is a fake shtick that works on, as he says, I love the uneducated Americans who he lies to, but he knows that he is a complete fraud. Let me just read for you the letter of Governor Newsom right now. Sorry I went on that rant, by the way. I wanted to read you this letter. Here's what it says. It's from Governor Newsom, the office of the governor, to Donald Trump. Dear Mr. President-elect, it was just 6 years ago that we toured the devastation of the Camp Fire in the town of Paradise, the deadliest wildfire in California's history. That day, you also visited the Woolsey Fire near Malibu, which took the lives of 3 residents and displaced tens of thousands. Communities, traditions, places wiped out in a matter of hours. You witnessed firsthand the heartbreak and destruction that all too many places across this nation have faced from more frequent and more severe natural disasters, fires, hurricanes, and floods. Now, California is again facing one of the most destructive fires in our history. On Tuesday, January 7th, a massive windstorm hit Southern California, with hurricane-force gusts nearing 100 miles per hour in Los Angeles County. Southern California has seen virtually no rain this winter, and when those winds swept through the parched landscape, tiny ignitions became raging wildfires. Those fires, including the Palisades, Eatonhurst, Lydia, Woodley, and the Kenneth fires, have devastated the greater Los Angeles area, even in the face of Herculean work by legions of experienced firefighters. Tens of thousands of acres have burned. Thousands have lost their homes and businesses. At least 10 people are reported to have died. The loss and devastation are horrific. We are thankful that President Biden has swiftly approved our major disaster declaration, a strong indication of the partnership California needs and appreciates with any federal administration. However, the threat to lives and property remains acute. Higher than normal winds of up to 70 miles per hour are still forecast for the next several days, and more extreme winds are likely early next week, with no change to dry conditions. As you prepare to assume the presidency once more, I invite you to come to California again to meet with the Americans affected by these fires. See the devastation firsthand and join me and others in thanking the heroic firefighters and first responders who are putting their lives on the line. In the spirit of this great country, we must not politicize human tragedy or spread disinformation from the sidelines. Hundreds of thousands of Americans, displaced from their homes and fearful for the future, deserve to see all of us working in their best interests to ensure a fast recovery and rebuild with respect and an open hand. That's exactly what you gotta do, folks.
So I recently found out that only 12% of Americans are metabolically healthy. Why is this alarming? Well, the single biggest predictors of how long you live and how good you feel while living is your metabolic health. There are lots of factors contributing to the metabolic health crisis, but the good news is that all of them are within our control. That's why I'm using Levels to better understand my own metabolic health and what I can be doing to improve. In the short term, I use Levels to optimize my energy levels during the day and manage weight. In the long term, I'm thinking about the many chronic diseases that are directly linked to metabolic health, including diabetes, heart disease, and Alzheimer's. Unlike calorie trackers, Levels is a health improvement app that uses AI-powered food logging and habit tracking like exercise, sleep, and nutrition to give you actionable insights for meaningful change. With continuous glucose monitoring and lab tests available, it offers a more comprehensive view to help you hit your health goals and stay accountable. There's so much information about health out there these days, and Levels helps you figure out what will be most impactful for you to focus on to improve your health and reach your personal goals. I personally learned that I was eating foods that were not supporting my health. Levels helped me optimize my meals, focusing on the foods I respond to best. For example, I learned that my morning oatmeal was not ideal and was actually causing me to feel lower energy after eating in the mornings. Level helped me learn by adding protein and fiber to that meal, I was able to make it much more balanced. Levels is the best place to go to get a comprehensive view of your health, hit your goals, and stay accountable. Right now, Levels is offering our listeners an additional 2 free months of the Levels annual membership when you use our link, levels.link/Midas. That's levels.link/MEIDAS. I don't know how long this offer will last, so if you've been interested in learning more about your metabolic health, now is the time to get started.
At the same time Governor Newsom was doing that, he was also thanking Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of Canada. Justin Trudeau said, "I spoke with Governor Newsom last night. We both know that Canada and the United States are more than just neighbors. We're friends, especially when times get tough." And then Justin Trudeau went on to talk about the close relationship between California and Canada offering some of its incredible firefighting resources to the state and to Los Angeles. Within the state, Governor Newsom responds, "Grateful for our Canadian neighbors as they lend a helping hand in our time of need." Because that's what you do with allies. You don't threaten them and say we don't need them or we're going to make them the 51st state. You work with your allies. I want to share this with you as well. This was during the fire. As the fires were raging, Governor Newsom was asked by Anderson Cooper to respond to Donald Trump's various lies and attacks, where Donald Trump right away was saying this is all Newsom's fault. Newsom didn't sign a Water Restoration Act. Note, there's no such thing. Newsom didn't not agree to sign anything like that. It was total and utter BS by Donald Trump. Trump kept on referring to Newsom as new scum, said that Governor Newsom cares more about smelt than people's lives. All total BS. But then you saw all the right-wing trolls and even like right-wing people parroting the disinformation while Governor Newsom was just trying to do his job. I want you to watch this moment right here. Let's play it.
Even asked this question, but the president-elect chose to attack you, blame you for this.
One can't even respond to it. I mean, people are literally fleeing. People have lost their lives. Kids lost their schools. Families completely torn asunder. Churches burned down. This guy wanted to politicize it. I have a lot of thoughts, and I know what I want to say. I won't. I stood next to a president of the United States of America today, and I was proud to be with Joe Biden. And he had the backs of every single person in this community. He didn't play politics, didn't try to divide any of us.
Governor Newsom has never shied away from a battle. He's never shied away from a debate. He goes on Fox. He goes on and speaks to Sean Hannity. and he gives it back. I want to show this moment to you because to me, you know what I've been saying a lot lately, right? You know my acronyms. I go ABC, always be campaigning. And one of the other ones I use is DBD, Democrats be Democrats. And progressive policies work. While all these MAGAs want to attack California and attack other states that are led by Democratic governors, they usually have better education, better quality of life, lower mortality rates, longer lifespans, much more wealth. And one of the things that Gavin Newsom talks about here is, look, Sean Hannity, first off, you know, what are you trying to, you realize that blue states pretty much fund the red states? Here, I want you to watch this moment right here, because this is what we're going to need in the next 4 years. Play this clip.
This is the honest way to be the fourth largest economy in the world. What are you arguing for? Mississippi's economic policy? Is that, I mean, literally, that's what you're arguing for.
Me, if I wanted
the great Sam Brownback's Kansas policy, I mean, it was a debacle. No economic growth. 71% of the GDP in America are blue counties. I would 71% of the GDP in America are blue counties. Progressive policies.
Okay, that are paying high taxes and
71% of the country's wealth. 7 of the top 10 dependent states.
Let's say you're right.
States.
Let's say you.
No, we're subsidizing your states, Sean, because of your policies.
I'm in New York. You're not subsidizing anything for me.
But your philosophy.
I'm getting the hell out of New York, though. Mississippi, Alabama, I'm all for it over New York or California.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I love Mississippi.
But what you're saying,
governor
I'm sure. Look, it's not personal.
I'll show you a few other portions of, I think, highlighting Governor Newsom's debating skills. Here, Governor Newsom. This was back in November of 2023, ish. And here he is, in this debate with DeSantis, defending Biden's policies that actually worked. And Biden fixing the issues that were caused by Trump. Watch this. Let's play it.
Results matter. Inflation now is down to 3.2%. Wages are up to 4.4%. The economy is booming, 5.2% GDP growth in the last quarter. Those are facts you don't hear on Fox News. 14 million jobs, 10 times more than the last. Let me move on.
That was the lightning round. Now, on March 31st.
And when Governor Newsom was asked during this debate and saying, oh, well, there's all this crime in California. Watch his response. He goes, it's higher in Florida. Here, play this clip.
And security, I would argue, is a prerequisite for the pursuit of happiness.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. We're near 50-year lows, down 55% violent crimes in the state of California from the 1990s. And I want to compare and contrast that with the issue in Florida that you didn't mention, and that's the murder rate. And let's broaden it more broadly. The issue is 7 out of the top 10.
Those numbers were part of the murder rate.
7 of the top 10 murder rates in the United States of America are red states. He has a 66% higher gun death rate than the state of California. He has a higher murder rate. Go to places like Jacksonville. Go to places like Orlando. Go to places like Tampa. The murder rate's off the charts compared to cities like San Francisco. And you know what? Even more egregiously, Sean, and I think this is important, the American people deserve an answer from you, Ron. You had one of the worst mass shootings in American history, Parkland. 17 kids were gunned down, lives lost, 17 others, lives torn asunder. You had a young girl by the name of Jamie Gutenberg, whose father pleaded with you to do something about it. And you know what you did? You did the exact opposite. You made it easier for felons to get guns without background checks, without any training. These people pleaded with you, the parents and the families, to get tough on gun safety. And again, you made it easier for felons. He said of you, Ron, and I agree with him, after you signed that concealed carry bill, which increases the likelihood, Fred Gutenberg said, of more Jamies losing their lives and more Parklands, he called you weak, pathetic, and small. So with respect, I appreciate you're talking to police officers in the state of California. You may want to spend a little bit more time, not on the Ohio Trail and other places across this country. You may spend a little more time back in your home state and address the murder and gun violence in your own backyard.
So this is the slick politician. You put up the...
And finally, after Donald Trump was elected, Governor Newsom was very quick to come out with a statement and say California is not going to sit by if Donald Trump tries to threaten our state rights. If he's going to violate the Constitution, California is going to stand up. I'll play for you this clip. I want you to remember, too, that Governor Newsom held a special emergency session of the legislature in California to approve funds to file lawsuits and to ensure that the Constitution is protected against Donald Trump and that the people of the state of California are protected. Watch this.
We have a president-elect. And I'm one of those people, I revere the institution. I revere this country. I revere the presidency. And I want our president to succeed. And our job, my job, is not to wake up every single day and get a crowbar and try to put it in the spokes of the wheel of the Trump administration. And so again, in that spirit of an open hand, not a closed fist, that's how we want to proceed. That said, fourth point, I'm not naive either. And we're pragmatic. And we will stand firm. I am reminded, there's a great old poem about, the winds may howl, but I will not be swept away. This notion that we have to plant our feet. And I remember, I've been here long enough, having worked with the previous Trump administration. I'm not naive about those winds, and they did howl. We were involved in over 100, we were involved in specifically 122 lawsuits with the Trump administration. We know their playbook. We know what they're going to do. I talked a lot about the campaign, and I appreciated Kamala Harris's closing message about Donald Trump has an enemies list, and she said, have a to-do list. I said I would make it a modest addendum to that. So did Donald Trump. That to-do list is laid out in a 922-page document, of which there's 270 specific points that he has publicly supported in that Project 2025 document, which 75% of its authors, and there's a multitude of authors, worked with the Trump administration. None of us are naive when he said he knew nothing about it. That is a to-do list. That is a playbook. The Heritage Foundation and others backing that playbook. You build on that, not naive about what to anticipate.
Well, there you have it, folks. Powerful stuff by Gavin Newsom. Say it to my face, in other words, is what he's saying. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the Midas Touch newsletter at MidasTouch.com/newsletter.
The soulless, clueless, and bottomless Donald Trump marked his 20th wedding anniversary with something tacky and egregious, even by his standards. It has the internet talking, and I have the breakdown for you next. The Donald J. Trump dumpster fire is in full bloom, and the next 4 years are going to be a wild ride. Not only is this country celebrating like the world has never seen before, believe me, but it's also an international spectacle of celebration. A Danish politician sent his best wishes.
Mr. Trump, off.
And a very prominent immigrant businessman celebrated day one with a German salute of historical significance. And speaking of international affairs, Donald Trump is celebrating 20 years of marriage to his Slovenian wife, who replaced his American wife, who replaced his Czechoslovakian wife, and he did so in a crass way completely void of self-awareness. So in other words, par for the Mar-a-Lago course. I will share the bizarre story that is currently trending in just a minute, but first I want to set you up with some context. Have a listen to Trump's surprising answer to a reporter's question yesterday, and on the other side, I'll explain how it ties into today's anniversary oddness.
You launched a crypto coin the other day. Do you intend to continue selling products that benefit yourself personally while you're president?
Well, I don't know if it benefited. I don't know where it is. I don't know much about it other than I launched it. I heard it was very successful. I haven't checked it. Where is it today?
You made a lot of money, sir.
How much?
Several $billion, it seems like, in the last several days.
Several billion? That's peanuts for these guys.
That was a reporter asking Trump if he will continue to sell things, and specifically about the crypto scheme that raked in billions during his last days as president-elect. And two things happened. He did not answer the question, and he delivered one of his trademark lines, "I don't know much about it," which of course is a tell that reveals when he is lying. Here's a quick explanation on his family's latest grift, followed by how he shamelessly connected it to his anniversary.
And now, after using his Trump brand to sell everything from steaks and vodka to sneakers and Bibles, the president promoting his company's newly launched Trump meme coin.
I don't know much about it other than I launched it. I heard it was very successful.
Those tokens, usually pegged to internet trends or celebrity endorsers, holding only the value traders put in it. At one point, the Trump coin rocketing from $6.50 to more than $72. Today, trading closer to $45 a coin. A similar coin, named for Melania, launched just yesterday.
There was this promise that Trump would usher in a time of at least thoughtful debate. What the concern now is that launching a meme coin is one of those corners of crypto that is taken less seriously.
And ethics experts concerned about conflicts of interest and the Trump family enriching themselves off these coins.
He has the power now not only to be making money, but he's actually going to be in position to be making determinations around that entire sector.
I'm laying out my plan to ensure that the United States will be the crypto capital of the planet and the Bitcoin superpower of the world.
And now with the fleecing farce established, let's fast forward to today. The Daily Beast described it with a headline that read, Trump uses 20th wedding anniversary post to hawk Melania's meme coin. And since my voice is rough these days, I'll let an AI voice carry the load in delivering the article highlights.
President Trump marked his 20th wedding anniversary with Melania on Wednesday with a Truth Social post that just so happened to double as a means of promoting her new crypto venture. Happy anniversary, Trump wrote in the post, which also contained a photo of him smiling with his arm around the First Lady's waist. Instead of uploading the image himself, however, the picture was actually part of another user's post from Sunday evening, which Trump had, quote, truthed on his own account. It's not clear why Trump chose to include a 3-day-old post from one of his supporters in his anniversary message, but it might have something to do with the fact that the user had written in response to Melania's announcement that her meme coin project was live and ready to buy, meaning any Truth Social user clicking on the image in Trump's anniversary post would see the announcement too. The official Melania meme is live. You can buy Melania now, the post on Melania's Truth Social account read on Sunday, the day before her husband's second inauguration. Her meme coin, which belongs to a class of essentially useless crypto tokens that can become extremely valuable if enough of them are sold.
I have a couple of thoughts on this. First, I was guilty of giving Melania the benefit of the doubt. I thought maybe she was unsophisticated and powerless and just went along with these things. But after seeing her hot Christmas ornaments on Fox News and getting huge advances for a book and film when she's not an inspirational figure with a story to tell, it's obvious that she's a shameless shill too. As for Trump, he's always been a shameless shill, and I think that's a result of the bottomless pit that he is. He doesn't need the money, but separating people from theirs is somehow fuel for his dark soul. But ultimately, history will not remember him for his brand or the size of his portfolio. He will be remembered for the corruption, gaslighting, and chaos that he brought to our democracy, and that's a legacy that is worthless.
The Honorable Donald John Trump.
Job you've done. Thank you very much. And I want to thank everybody. And I have a First Lady who's been incredible. She's been incredible. I shouldn't say this. I'm going to get hell when I say this, but her feet are absolutely aching. You know, those heels. And we thought we were leaving. We were going home. Sir, would you be able to go down and say hello to some of your other fans that are here? I said, oh, I didn't know that. Wow. Did you get to see pretty clearly the picture, I hope? Good. That's good. But because you wouldn't want to make the same speech again, right? But she said, darling, I love you so much, but my feet are killing me. I said, honey, let me just see how far it is. I asked the person. Oh, not that long, maybe 400 or 500 yards. That's 5 football fields. I said, can you make it? She said, we're going to make it no matter what. We're going to make it because we have to get, right? And then we went out to the helicopter, though, just prior to this and said goodbye. And it's a custom, and the wind is blowing like crazy. And with the hat that she's wearing, she almost blew away. We almost lost off her. She was being elevated off the ground. She almost blew away. No. So we all appreciate it because she's been a great First Lady. A beautiful and a great First Lady. And they love our First Lady. You know, JD, whenever I make a speech, I see hundreds of times, we love our First Lady. We love, and they do, and they should. She's great.
With all the terrible things that have been happening in California over the past few days, the backlash that Gavin Newsom is facing is only getting worse. And after the crazy twist of what happened today, things are only getting worse and worse for Gavin Newsom. And he is now at a point where he is panicking and begging for people like Biden to help save him. Look at the damage that has been done in California. It is apocalyptic. This is something that should never have happened. And this is all because of terrible leadership in California. And anybody who actually knows what is going on knows that is the case. And now it has gotten to a point with the devastation here where we are seeing celebrities, tons and tons of celebrities, and more of them are coming out to absolutely shred Gavin Newsom for this and call for him to resign. Some people are calling for his arrest. And we do have some crazy things to talk about in regards to all of that today. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this and see what is going on. This is something that Gavin Newsom said about the fires, as Gavin Newsom basically says that it is not his responsibility, that it's not his job. He doesn't need to figure it out.
What is the situation with the water? Obviously, in Palisades ran out last night in the hydrants. I was talking to the firefighter on this block. They left because there was no water in the hydrant here.
The local folks are trying to figure that out. I mean, just when you have...
That is an absolutely insane response. And this shows you that he is a terrible leader because he refuses to take responsibility for anything that is going on.
A system that is not dissimilar to what we've seen in other extraordinarily large-scale fires, whether it be pipe, electricity, or whether it just be the complete overwhelm of the system. I mean, those hydrants are typical for 2 or 3 fires, maybe 1 fire. You have something at this scale, but again, that's got to be determined by the local.
This is sickening. This answer is completely sickening. Because of all of this insane backlash, Gavin Newsom is at a point where he is literally begging Biden to rescue him from the backlash. Newsom asks Biden to combat criticism of his disastrous fire response. He is begging Biden to combat criticism. And guess what? He still refuses to take any responsibility whatsoever. Trump has also repeatedly called on Newsom to resign this week as well. So this is what Gavin Newsom was saying to Biden. This is craziness.
I ask you, we've got to deal with this misinformation. There were hurricane force winds of mis and disinformation, lies. People want to divide this country, and we're gonna have to address that.
Misinformation, that is what you are worried about right now when your state is on fire. What he really means is he just does not like the fact that people are saying that he should take responsibility and accountability. He doesn't like any of that.
As well, and it breaks my heart as people are suffering and struggling that we're up against those hurricane forces as well. And that's just a point of personal privilege that I share that with you because it infects real people that are out there, people I meet every single day, people the mayor's been meeting with, and they're having conversations that are not the typical conversations you'd have at this time. And you wonder where this stuff comes from. And it's very damaging as well. But we're here to get the job done.
Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our administration, the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
And that he will be here tomorrow. It's my understanding. I look forward to being there on the tarmac to thank the president, welcome him, and we're making sure that all the resources he needs for a successful briefing are provided to him. There's no limit to the resources we'll provide for that briefing, and as I say, I'm grateful that he appears to be coming out.
Plan on talking to him tomorrow?
Well, I certainly plan on being there at the tarmac and look forward to continuing to work not just with him, the administration, as it relates to the disaster recovery, as it relates to our efforts to collaborate with multiple federal agencies over the course of the next many years as we organize our approach to immediately address the debris removal. We're working now with the Army Corps of Engineers. So there's a direct relationship to debris removal in the Trump administration, and to make sure that's done effectively, not just quickly, but effectively, and making sure it's done safely.
Air Force One just landed here at LAX. In fact, here is a live look right now. And we're waiting President Trump to depart from Air Force One. Again, just landed here in Los Angeles. And he's, of course, here to visit the city to tour all of the wildfire damage.
Earlier today, President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump visited western North Carolina, which was heavily damaged by Hurricane Helene. Heard firsthand accounts from a lot of people there about the response they were getting from FEMA as well as their own insurance companies. And they have now landed at LAX. You see the door is open. Now, apparently, Governor Gavin Newsom has been seen waiting on the tarmac for the president to depart, depart from the plane, Air Force One. It was not, weren't really sure if the governor was going to be there. The White House has said this is the first they've heard about it, according to some reports from some other outlets. So it's kind of a waiting game there. And now you see President Trump stepping off the plane along with the First Lady.
And the president and the First Lady, they'll be meeting with homeowners, as we've been mentioning, who lost everything in those fires. The president also expected to take part in a briefing with congressional leaders. These are leaders from both sides of the aisle, Democrats and Republicans. Mayor Bass is also going to be part of those discussions. You see Governor Newsom there, that exchange that we were anticipating because of early reports saying that the governor wouldn't be there, then his office clarifying he would. So it seems as if right now it's cordial, a handshake. Not sure what they're discussing, but there's a lot on the table with all of the damage and all of the requests for federal aid that California is asking for.
Okay, some interesting body language there as he now greets the First Lady. And again, they will now head into the airport where a table has been set up. We've seen some maps in the background. So I think it'll be a very kind of a similar situation that we saw in Western Carolina. But actually, we're going to have a news conference right here with the media.
In very good shape. We have the congressman in charge and Michael Watley, and we're going to do a lot of work. We have the Army Corps of Engineers working as they are here. And I think you're going to see some very good progress. We left them high and dry. And now we're going to be taking a little tour with some of the people from the area. I appreciate the governor coming out and meeting me, Gavin. Very much. And we'll be talking a little bit. We want to get it fixed. We want to get the problem fixed. And there'll be some ways, but it's like you got hit by a bomb, right?
Yeah.
It's like you got hit by a bomb. Would you like to say something?
Most importantly, thank you for being here. It means a great deal to all of us, and not just the folks in Palisades, the folks in Altadena that were devastated. We're going to need your support. We're going to need your help. You were there for us during COVID. I don't forget that. And I have all the expectations that we'll be able to work together to get this speedy recovery.
We will. We've got to get it done. Tremendous numbers of lives have been affected. A lot of real estate's been affected. Nobody's ever probably seen anything like this. You could almost say since the Second World War, when you think of it. I mean, nothing like this has happened. And we're going to get it fixed, so we'll get it permanently fixed, so it can't happen again. And again, we'll be talking a little bit later, and we'll get it worked out, okay?
I appreciate it, Mr. President.
Thank you, God.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Both of you have disagreed a lot over the past week over what has happened in this state. How do you plan to
We got to
put your
get it
differences
finished.
aside?
We're looking to get something completed. And the way you get it completed is to work together. He's the governor of the state. And we're going to get it completed. They're going to need a lot of federal help. Unless you don't need any, which would be okay.
We're going to need a lot of federal help.
So we're going to take care of things, okay?
I have all the confidence in the world we'll work that out.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
I guess some of you are coming with us, and some of you not. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'll see you.
President Trump and Governor Newsom much more cordial here on camera than the back and forth we've seen between the two in the last couple of weeks, from comments made by the president, comments made by Governor Newsom. It looks like here they're heading to take the president's helicopter.
And the governor thanking the president for being here, saying that California needs his support at this time. And the president, for his part, saying, look, we know there's a lot of work that needs to be done. He referenced the Army Corps of Engineers that's here. He, of course, will be taking a tour of all of those devastated areas, more importantly, talking to the residents impacted. The president also saying he appreciates the governor coming out. They both emphasize partnership and collaboration here, but the focus, according to the president, fixing the problem, acknowledging the many lives lost, those impacted, and also all of the destruction with homes and businesses. So he's on the ground, and it'll be an interesting tour.
Well,
Spike, you want it, huh? Nah, you wouldn't like that, would you, Spike? Hey, Spike, how about we chase cars, huh? Does that sound like fun? Nah. Yeah, that wouldn't be no fun. How about beating up a cat? Would you like that, Spike? Huh? Would you like that, huh, Spike?
Cat? You know where is it, a cat?
Yeah, sure, Spike, sure. I know where's it, a cat. Oh, boy, we're gonna have fun beating up a cat, ain't we, Spike?
Charleston, made in Carolina. Some dance, some prance, I'll say. There's nothing finer than a Charleston. Lord, how you can shuffle. Every step you do leads to something new. Man, I'm telling you, it's a lot to do. Buck dance, swing dance. We'll be back.
Spike, you want it, huh? Nah, you wouldn't like that, would you, Spike? Hey, Spike, how about we chase cars, huh? Does that sound like fun? Nah. Yeah, that wouldn't be no fun. How about beating up a cat? Would you like that, Spike? Huh? Would you like that, huh, Spike?
Cat? You know where is it, a cat?
Yeah, sure, Spike, sure. I know where's it, a cat. Oh, boy, we're gonna have fun beating up a cat, ain't we, Spike?
Charleston, made in Carolina. Some dance, some prance, I'll say. There's nothing finer than a Charleston. Lord, how you can shuffle. Every step you do leads to something new. Man, I'm telling you, it's a lot to do. Buck dance, swing dance. We'll be back.